All right, let's move out to our friends. Well, they actually aren't our friends for this round. Normally,
No.
they're our friends, the Australians. I need to say, as a precursor to this round, we do not support war crimes in any way, shape, or form. That's it. Yeah, that's all.
That's it. Yeah.
That's the message. There's nothing else to add. Australia's been in the news for a lot of bad shit. Like I believe it was their prime minister had to apologize for some of the shit that came out in a report that they were doing, where they're doing some war crimes goofing big
Little
time.
war crimes goofing on many fronts happening. A little loss of control, perhaps. But this one's kind of unique.
Yeah, it is. So the Australian Defense Department says an investigation has been launched into photos showing senior special forces soldiers drinking out of the, quote, dead Taliban's fighter's prosthetic limb and then carrying it onto the battlefield. The move comes after The Guardian obtained images showing a trooper carrying the leg attached to a backpack, with other photos showing soldiers drinking beer from the prosthetic at an unofficial bar, which was known as the Fat Lady's Arms. That's a fantastic
It's a
bar
great,
name.
I'll give them that.
It is.
I'll give them that. It's a great bar name.
I'm honest to God, when we get done recording, I'm going to go online and see if I can find a shirt that has that on there.
For the Fat Lady's Arms.
is, I bet the logo is great. Anyways, they went to the Fat Lady's Arm. That was set up to be their special forces base in Afghanistan in 2009. A defense spokesman said on Thursday, quote, the Army is inquiring into the matter. The move came as a federal senator, Rex Patrick, called for commanders who failed to stop the practice of drinking alcohol from the leg to be.
Yeah, I know. It's not funny. We said our disclaimer at the
Sorry.
beginning, but it's a little goofy.
Sorry, that's
It
an
is
actual
kind of funny
sentence.
that you have to issue official guidance. Guys,
Yes.
ladies, look, we understand it's a Taliban guy who got killed. What we're not going to do, take their legs, make them into canteens.
Just stop. Enough.
But that could be an addition of longtime toolies, honest to God, because we like to do a little
With consent of a person who'd
You're
like
right.
to be able to do
upcycling. Yes.
So. Right. Mm-hmm.
Great name though, Rex. Great
Yeah,
name.
especially for a dog. The Guardian's pictures show the prosthetic leg of a fighter who had been killed during an assault on two compounds in a tunnel complex at Kakarek. And Uzgan? What the fuck is that?
Urzgan.
Yeah, province in 2009. Damn it. I knew it. See, this is why I don't do it. Because sometimes we have all these weird words and you know I can't say them. You know it.
You know, chaps can't read.
I can't read fucking weird words. Following the battle, the leg was allegedly, I feel so bad for laughing through this. Following the battle, the leg was allegedly taken from the corpse of a fighter. That's bad. Additional photographs obtained by the Guardian show a soldier from the unit with the leg strapped to his backpack. In one picture, another soldier is seen pointing at the leg on the backpack with a quizzical expression.
Ridiculous.
Responding to the pictures, Patrick, a former naval submariner, said maintaining standards and developing good culture is the responsibility of those command. I agree. I would hope that the perpetrator has been dealt with, and the same is true for the command who either turned a blind eye to the conduct or stood silent, the senator said. Patrick, who spent just over 10 years in the Navy, mostly in the submarines, said that he supported Australian troops in the conduct of operations when mistakes were made in the heat of battle. But the circumstances of this photo are not the heat of battle, and the soldier involved has exercised poor judgment. These sorts of actions chip away at the sort of standards and cultures that the public want and expect from the Australian Defense Forces members. The Special Air Service Regiment, the SASR, sources have high-level officers knew about the leg, which was mounted on the board alongside a German-style Iron Cross and kept with two squadrons on deployments. Officers were reported to have seen soldiers drinking from the leg and are rumored to have been involved in the practice themselves.
Everyone was drinking from the leg at the Fat Lady's Arms. That's everybody from the top to the bottom.
It was a rite of passage to drink from this leg. Chaps, you walk in as a senior NCO, you see people drinking from the leg. What do you say?
I mean, I think you have to go high and to the right when you're a leader, like on that stuff, because you can't look at it and just, I think it's different whenever you are a junior troop. The way that you view the world as a junior troop, there is an admittedly, or you don't want to admit it's an ugly truth about the military. There is a dehumanization aspect about going to war where in order to engage the enemy, you can't be looking at them as they're the same as Bob or Steve or Jill to your left or right. There is that aspect of it. So you can kind of understand it from that, but it's not something that you can tolerate. And you especially can't tolerate it with cameras in the fucking room.
No,
Like
that's even more ridiculous when people are taking pictures of it. If you're going to do it, that's one thing, and that's not good by itself. But then to
well,
take pictures of it.
I don't think it's more ridiculous. I think it's icing on the ridiculous cake.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know, I mean, this happened. This was in 2009. It will come out. If you are doing something stupid, it's like that. It's gonna come out eventually.
But that is the
some
same
point.
time that like the Marine snipers, I believe, like maybe it was a little bit after the Marine snipers were urinating on like on dead Taliban. Like I understand the hatred of all those that are involved in the Taliban. I really do. And it is a crazy balance that you're fighting these people who, for lack of better term, legit savages. The way that they treat women, the way that they treat people that they capture, the way that the way that ISIS and the Taliban conduct themselves. But I think that's what at least the delusion of grandeur for our military and Australian and our allies is that we don't do the same things that they do.
Mm-hmm.
And I
we're
think
supposed to be above them.
Right. You're supposed to be better.
I remember like it was funny, you know, back in school, you're learning about the Geneva Conventions and how we follow them and how we follow the laws of war, and our enemies seemingly never did. And you would ask like, well, how's that fair? And he says, well, it's not, but we're not going to stoop to their level. We're still always going to hold ourselves to that standard because that's who we are as a military and as a country. And also, let me just say, I don't feel bad shaming the Taliban because I don't think they're great people. That had to have been the again. That's my second bold take in the same episode. If you're keeping track at home, thank you.
Khan's not a fan of the Taliban.
Not a fan of the Taliban. Let me tell you, that had to have been the most disgusting prosthetic leg. So the fact that these dudes were drinking out of it is gross in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
I will
definitely need to get a little school circle on me from the corpsman. Like we don't do that.
Yeah. It's difficult too to be the one to speak up and say, no, you guys have to stop.
Yes.
I imagine it's even more so when it's like Australian special forces in a bar they made themselves called the Fat Lady's Arms.
Especially if they just got done listening to the ZBT episode where we talked about the emus.
Yes.
Right. And they're probably fucking fired the fuck up. Yeah. So that's not easy, but it must be done.
Fuck yeah, ZBT's got us on there. Hell yeah.
Sometimes you got to be the buzzkill sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to be the one that asks the teacher for homework on a Friday. Sorry to say.
I got asked to do a war crime once.
What?
Yeah. We had a prisoner and I was walking with my dog and I won't say the rank, but he asked me if I would release my dog on the person. He's like, I've never seen it before. If he steps off the path, will you do it? He's like, it's just us out here. Nothing will ever happen. I was like, absolutely fucking not. Like that's a war crime, dude. Like the only one that comes back on is me.
Chaps, happy to hear that you made the right decision and didn't end up in Leavenworth.
They used to ask me all the time, just to fucking release my dog into a house. It's like, I don't know if these people have weapons. They're going to shoot my dog. I get in big trouble for that, believe it or not. Like being a dog handler and having your dog get shot for no reason. Not great.
Not great. Doesn't go well.
You don't want to explain that one to your command.
No, I actually got nervous when I woke up in the hospital and didn't know where Sika was. I was like, where the fuck is Sika? Because I had forgotten that he got on the helicopter with me, and they're like, "Oh, some other handlers came." They were like, and he wasn't happy. Because I had him. They said I had tied him to my surgical bed, and he was just like hanging out until another handler came. And when they tried to like pull him away from me, Psycho was going like bananas.
Oh, she almost war crimed then. Pardon me.
And it's understandable when his nickname was the Bunny Rabbit. So that's sweet. All right, let's move on.
Wait. Time out. It's unbelievable. 300 plus episodes and we're still learning new things. Your dog's nickname was the Bunny Rabbit. Why?
Because he bounces everywhere. Like whenever we would go through in Okinawa, we would do training out in the jungle, and there was always these pineapple fields, and the pineapple fields had very high, the plants go up like 4 or 5 feet. And if I would call for Sika, if he was doing scouting and looking for somebody in the pineapple fields, he would always like bound up where you could see his head, like almost like a kangaroo jumps. So he could see where I was at. He would like jump up, look for me, run a little bit, jump up, look for me, run a little bit. And so he just earned the nickname, the Bunny Rabbit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Adorable little fella. All right, let's move on to round number 4.